Greetings. Hey guys. So, for those of you who may not know me, and also those who do actually know me, my name is Kale Jones. I'm the one who runs this YouTube channel. So, in the past, we have been creating a lot of more funny moments and gaming type videos, playing a bunch of different games. Things like 7 Days to Die and Minecraft, obviously. Really easy to have funny moments in a Minecraft game. And not only that, but I've played some story based games and done my own commentary on that. And I'm going to keep doing videos like that. And I always will. But further down the line, a lot of the videos are just going to get more funny, more relatable, have higher quality, and as new games come out, we'll play them on this channel and make a bunch of funny moments and all that kind of good stuff. The stuff that makes you laugh when you're having a bad day. That kind of thing. Aside from gaming videos, funny moments, and commentary on story based games that are more single player, I also do a lot of, or not a lot, but I do some vlogs here and there to try and get personal with you, the viewer, to make sure that I have a connection built with you guys between me and my team and my audience. It's more like a family, more like you're listening to someone who you've been following and that you look up to or even just really enjoy the company of. And speaking of connections between you, the viewer, and not only myself, but my team, I actually have a member of my team right behind me, right here. Everyone, this is Tony.
Hey y'all, I'm Tony. I'm 18. I enjoy streaming, gaming, editing videos, skateboarding. The way I got into making and editing videos was through YouTube. YouTubers I started out watching were people that have big cult followings nowadays, like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie. Those are all a little bit later. But just seeing the way that their videos would just like flow into the next subject and just all like fit together and be beautiful. Like have these cool effects on the screen. It's always super appealing to me. I never understood how they do it until I started doing some research and discovered a thing called video editing. So after getting those apps on my phone, I ran into some problems with the software. There were a couple problems with quality, finding the things I needed to do the editing, place to put my editing, and just overall being dissatisfied with what I had to work with because I didn't have any consoles or anything like that to actually like get video from. That slowly led to me becoming less interested in editing. The way I ended up actually getting back into editing and specifically editing Neil's channel. One day we were out gaming at his house and he asked me if I had any interest in editing because his current editor at the time, Johnny, who was a wonderful teacher by the way, had a bit too much on his plate as he was pretty much the manager, like director of the whole channel. So he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, would you be interested in editing for me?" We just talked it out, and eventually I said yes. And so it's been about 7 months since I started editing with Kale and Johnny. And a video from like when I first, like very beginning when I started was the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard that you saw on Kale's channel. And I wasn't the best at editing at that point, but I did do my best, and I'm proud of it. I'm still proud of it. I liked that video. It was more of a story-based game, so I didn't really have to do as much. Story-based games like that. But something more recent would be like the CS:GO footage that I did with him and Dylan. That was my best editing I've done so far. I was super proud of it. But all of that, I have to thank Johnny for. In the beginning, when I started, Johnny's been my teacher the whole time. Very beginning, like learning how to bring videos into our editing software, and make them into something that's watchable, all the way up until now making something entertaining. That was, a big struggle. It's really hard to figure out, your editing style. But John, he's been great all the way. Taught me how to use the software, how to improve my editing, multiple times, and just like everything I needed to know about our software that we knew up to that point. And so, because of him, my editing has slowly improved up until the point that I'm at now. And the main reason why I was so excited to get back into editing for Kale is because I eventually want to start my own channel. The reason why I'm still sticking with the editing, even though, it's pretty hard, and, it kind of gets me frustrated at times because things don't work as I want them to or anything like that. But I'm still in it because of all the hardships I had in the very beginning. Because when Johnny really started training me, he just sat me in front of the computer, opened the hardware, he's like, make a video. It took me close to 4 hours to get something decently watchable. And then for about the next 2 to 3 hours, he coached me through the ins and outs of the program. He showed me all the different cool things you could do, had me re-edit the same video. I'll say, that first one to that second one, there was a big jump in improvement just because I knew the in that software. Things that it could do that I didn't know about. So after I'd gone through with the second edit on that video, after Johnny had given me some instruction, he asked me a group of valid questions. I can't remember most of them. It's been a while, but I know some of them that he asked me, like questions like, are you proud of your work? Would you be proud enough to show this to somebody else? To be able to take constructive criticism about this that you can improve on, so on and so forth. That honestly really got me hooked into editing, just because I want to be able to make something that I'm proud of and that I'd be proud to show to people. Because I want to see us grow more into less of a group of people making videos for YouTube, more of like actual family making videos for YouTube, doing our absolute best to push everything maximum to get the best quality content we can. Like, I want to see more people in the Discord server. I want to see people like joining in on streams between people, like the different channel members if we're streaming, like hopping back and forth between the streams, saying hi and checking everything. And I just want community interaction. I want all of us to get to know each other. The only thing I'm noticing with our team that isn't up to par, per se, is our communication. We do every so often get together and actually speak, or even just text about what we are working on, but it's barely ever the time we work on it. The only one, other than Johnny, your chief editor, that I've noticed doing it, is our graphics designer. He's working on the art, she's trying to communicate with the boss about the thumbnails. So what I do want to see is that I want to see is, like, as we're working on what we are doing, we are sharing our progress in our like personal chat, working things out together and getting everything kind of sorted out to the best we can. I know I want to increase my work ethic for the channel because I don't put, other than the CSGO video, I've not been putting enough effort into my editings. So what I expect from myself to help this channel grow and this community become more involved is, for one, my editing quality. Because you guys didn't see this, but a while back, I didn't put like an effort into a video, and our chief editor actually finished it up for me. Hey man, my boss took the fall for it. My chief editor is actually the only reason I still have the job, so thank him for that, always. So that's one thing I really do want to improve on, is just the quality of my work. I just want to keep on building that up and up as far as I can. Another thing I do expect from myself is to help boss increase his stream quality and just overall make it a more fluid, enjoyable experience for everyone that watches. As in, like, being a moderator, watching chat, making sure everything on the stream is fine. If it's not, letting him know so he can fix it. Getting all of that is nice and fluid, make a better experience for the viewer. Another thing that I think is extremely important is to increase the amount of community interaction we have, whether that's through just commenting on videos and having us or even just the boss himself comment back and just like get to know each other and actually talk would be something that I will really look forward to, as I really want to get to know each and every one of the fans, build up the sense of knowing each other and of being community. And back on the note of my editing qualities, I also want to increase the work ethic that I have with editing, because the last video that I'd edited that we uploaded was the CSGO funny moments, and I really liked that video just because of how much effort I actually put into it, because that was probably the best video I've ever made, and I just want to keep improving from that to make it a more enjoyable experience. Another thing that I definitely want to do is to just continuously improve myself and help improve the channel, because I can help improve, for one, the quality of the videos just by improving my editing and my work ethic, and even increasing the quality and overall enjoyability of his streams. That would be wonderful, because that is something that I'm really excited for. The high amount of community interaction that we would get from that really make all this worth it, to be honest, because I would love to interact and have us all interact with every single one of you. And to that end, one thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to be working outside of just Kale's content, practicing editing and techniques on just either content I've recorded just to practice with, or just some old scrap footage from older videos and just practice with effects, all that, everything better, more enjoyable.
I'm sorry. With all that being said, I do want to apologize to all of you guys for the last 2 months. The fact that I haven't been uploading, which honestly, it's been stressing me out. That I haven't been able to push out content for you guys. I know you guys have been being patient and waiting for me ever since I uploaded the vlog on August like 29th or 30th. It was the last day of August. I uploaded that video saying that I was going to be on hiatus. I said only a month, but there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. And it may just sound like excuses to some of you, but I do want to let you know that it's all really what has been happening. Well, first things first, right before I moved, I lost my job. I got fired from the place that I hadn't even worked for a week because of a coworker who decided to tarnish my name in a sort of way, even though there was no logical explanation or logical reason to it. So not only did I lose my job, but I wasn't able to get Wi-Fi straight off the bat like I thought I would. And moving took a little while longer than I planned on it. I mean, I'm still not completely unpacked. It's been 2 months since the day I was officially allowed to move in here, and I'm still not completely unpacked. I've had a lot of stuff been going on. I've had 2 COVID scares. My truck is in the shop for the second time in the last, 3-4 months? And it's taking a toll on my finances. And the rent here is pretty expensive compared to what I'm used to. And only just recently did I find another job to pay for those expenses. And even then, I've been prevented from working a full week. This week, the week that I recorded this, which is technically last week for those of you watching this, was the first full week that I worked with no missing hours. Granted, that excludes the overtime I could have gotten, but no missing hours. It's the first one because my truck broke down because of COVID scares. It's insane how much has been happening in the last 2 months. And don't get me wrong, this isn't a pity me party thing. I just want to explain to all of you that there is a legitimate reason for the fact that I haven't uploaded in 2 months. And I am extremely sorry Things are going to get better from now on. And you know I'm going to hold myself to it. I'm going to stop procrastinating on things like that. My chief editor has been helping me through getting past procrastinating. A lot of the other teammates over here at the MainTuber team, or TMT team, they've been helping me push through. They've been helping me try to quit procrastinating and to do stuff and to actually get things out for you guys to watch. My past, my drive, my mistakes. On another topic, I do want to explain to you guys why I decided to become a YouTuber. It's actually been a dream of mine since I was a little kid. I used to be a huge fan of Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and I just thought that their content was so creative, so funny, and all their gaming content, it gave me insight into games that I never thought I'd be able to afford to play. And it was just fun for me to watch. Get home from school and just watch Markiplier or Jacksepticeye playing, I don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's, or the first Outlast, or even Amnesia. It was those kinds of things that I used to watch, and it encouraged me to start doing YouTube. And if you scroll all the way down on my YouTube channel, you'll find some pretty embarrassing stuff. Primarily things from when I was 12 years old. But we don't talk about that anymore. Anyways, that's what encouraged me to start. That's how young I started. And drive that really got me there was just constantly seeing the community that Markiplier and Jacksepticeye had built up through their content. I wanted a community similar to that. I wanted to make people laugh, and I wanted to make people's lives better. Just through making videos that give them something to distract themselves from a horrible day that they're having. And, well, their content seems like a pretty good way to do it. So I started making content like that. I'm going to continue making content like that. And now my drive is bigger, or I don't think that's the right term to use, but I'm more driven than ever to make content like that and to try and create this community where we can all be here for each other and where you can all laugh at my stupid jokes or me being an idiot in a video game and share your problems with each other and just build this huge community and family. I've made mistakes, such as, well, when I got, actually, every single time I promised an upload schedule before I hired on my chief editor. Every time I would promise that. I would say weekly videos, bi-weekly videos. I promise this, I promise that. I'm going to get back into it. And I just stopped. I wouldn't do it. But now that I'm more driven, I'm not going to make those mistakes anymore. And I don't regret making those kinds of mistakes simply because they have shown me what I need to do to improve for you guys. To be able to spread this community, spread this family out even further than it already has. There's already, according to YouTube, 518 of you who have found this channel. And I want that family to spread. I want it to continue to just be this safe place for everyone. Where you can talk about problems. Problems like mine. Problems like what I explained that caused me to stop uploading. You can all talk about stuff like that. But no, I don't regret the mistakes I made. Simply because they're helping me grow as a person, content creator, and hopefully, eventually, into someone that maybe will have a bit of good influence on this world. Meeting the team and introducing the team. The TMT team is actually comprised of a lot of people who I am very close to. I met all of them outside of YouTube, whether it be through family or through friends. I've met every single one of them, and they were all close friends and people that I would hang out with all the time before I even got back into YouTube. Uh, Starting in order of who joined the team first would be my chief editor. I met him years back, and ever since 2014, he has supported my YouTube channel, and he was getting really excited when the channel started uploading more often, when I started getting better and better and better at making content, and then all of a sudden it dropped. He wanted to help me, to get me back up on my feet, because he knew that this was a dream of mine and he didn't want to let me just throw it away. So he offered to help me with video editing and offered to, well, more than help. He offered to edit my videos for me. And I accepted. Granted, I couldn't just let him do that, you know? Kind of had to pay him just because I'm not going to make someone work for me for free. That'd be messed up. But after that was my graphics design artist, who has been the one making all the thumbnails. They did the revamp on the channel logo and the channel background, and I'm really grateful for what they do. I actually met her a little while after I met the chief editor, and he kind of included her in everything because she just had skills that could be useful. And honestly, I had seen some of her art before, just like little bits and pieces here and there, but I really liked it. I thought it could be really awesome to have some of her art on the channel. So that's why she wound up joining. And then there's, well, Tony. The one person on this team, aside from me, whose name is known and whose face is known. He's been my friend for a long time, ever since 7th grade. We've had falling outs, we've had ups and downs, but overall, he's been that goofball friend that you take a camera up to him, and it makes for some funny videos. So he and I used to record together every once in a while, and as he explained to you earlier, I decided to offer him a position as another editor for the channel because the workload was getting to be too much for my chief editor. So he took it, and as you could plainly see, he's still here today. He's still editing. So he hasn't quite dropped off the face of the earth yet. I hope he won't for a while. That'd be sad. And then lastly, there is my marketing manager. My marketing manager I met literally at the same time as my chief editor. And he's had experience in that kind of stuff before. We were just talking about it one day, and he actually offered to help me with it because originally my chief editor was also the marketing manager. So that was just one more weight that I could get lifted off of my chief editor's shoulders. So I took the deal. I helped him get some more updated equipment so that he could actually do marketing and so that he could do his job successfully and well. And thus far, he's actually been doing really good. The new Twitter page is, I mean, it's really nice as compared to the other two that I've made. And then the new Facebook page is pretty good too. He's been doing good with those two, and overall, he's just really good at doing what he does. And I appreciate his efforts just as much as I appreciate everyone else's. And to show my appreciation towards the TMT team, I do have ways that you can all go and support them. Now, the chief editor is kind of a difficult one. He used to stream on Mixer before Mixer got brought down. Johnny Toaster. I do know that he still has a Twitch, so if you want to, once he can actually start streaming again, please watch his streams. Johnny Toaster TTV. Right here. The streams are absolutely amazing. His voice, it's calming. You can just listen to his streams and calm down. Now, for my graphics design artist, you can follow her on Facebook at Twilight Rose Creations. She does amazing art. She will do commissions, and I just can't wait to see her success. It's really going to be amazing because her art is so great, and I really believe that it should be spread around. It's just great artwork. I mean, I could never do that in any single day in my life. My other editor, you can go follow. His handle is Riverzoo on Twitch. Riverzoo3929201. Please put it right here, editor. It's right here. And it'll also be linked in the description. And then, last but not least, you've got my marketing manager, who you can actually go follow on TikTok. At Mr. Horror. On TikTok. Right here, and down in the description. So please, make sure to go follow and like their content, and support them as much, if not more, than you support me, because they deserve every single bit of what you guys have to offer. Filmora update and upgrades to the channel. Another topic that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention in this video is the quality of the videos are actually going to be getting better, due to the fact that our editing software actually got a massive update that we've been hoping for a while. We use the editing software WonderShare Filmora, and don't get me wrong, it's a great software, but before it was just lacking a little bit more than we'd care to admit. But we still stuck with it, and turns out it's paying off. WonderShare Filmora 10 actually just came out recently, and it added two major things that my editors here on the channel have actually been wanting in the editing software. We were thinking about switching over to a different version of WonderShare, but this new version of WonderShare Filmora came out with exactly what we were looking for, which would be keyframing and motion tracking. Example right here. So, even just for proof, guys, right here, WonderShare Filmora came out with keyframing and motion tracking in their new update, WonderShare Filmora X. And it just adds effects that I've been wanting for a while in WonderShare Filmora. It's something that I missed from back when I was using Sony Movie Maker. Not Vegas, but Movie Maker. It was weird. But that was definitely one of the big things that I missed in there, especially keyframing. It's how I made those like animations back in the old days, back before before I had an editor. That was how I did the animations, made things fly across the screen. Now with keyframing and motion tracking, those kinds of animations can come back and be 10 times better than they would have been had we just made them ourselves, doing it frame by frame. That's definitely a major bonus. And then aside from Filmora, the editing software, getting an update, a lot of plans are in motion for updates on the channel itself. We're going to be, yet again, revamping the logo in the background for the channel, We're going to be making it look a lot better. This channel's basically being reborn. And you're still going to get the same content. It's just the theme of the channel is going to feel a lot better. It's going to feel a lot more fitting. And I'm really excited for that. And then the channel's appearance just in general is going to get way better. Even my recording equipment is going to get better. That's something we'll touch on later. But the channel overall is going to look so much nicer, so much more crisp and clean. You guys are going to love it. I can't say for sure when this will be, when all of these different things just pull together and come into place. But it's going to be amazing when it does. So that's something for you guys to look forward to. And I will give you guys updates as I'm made aware of them. New ideas. Another thing that's going to be going on in the channel is I've got a lot of ideas. Things that I want to do aside from gaming videos. And yes, I know I said earlier that gaming videos are still going to be put out, which they are, but we're going to be adding more. We're going to be adding skits, cinematics, animations. Those 3 things are going to be added into the channel, and it's going to be so awesome. I've actually already got a skit planned out in my head. Just to give a brief description of it, we paint everything. It doesn't sound as funny as it will be, but trust me, it will be amazing. I can promise you that much. And then cinematics, I'm going to be working on my cinematography, I guess is the proper word, I'm not entirely sure. But just the way I take and record videos when it's not here in the office, and even some here in the office, but mostly outside of the office, to make really cool looking videos that are just really pleasing to the eye. And then animations are going to come a little bit later than the rest of everything else, but they're still going to be really nice. It's going to add a new layer of comedy to any of the gaming videos I do, because you're going to still have the same audio and the same jokes from the game, except everything's going to be animated. It's going to be like placing me actually in the game, without me actually having to be in the game. Because let's be honest, I would not like to be in Outlast. No thank you. But there's a bunch of new and cool ideas that are going to be popping up that I'm going to start working on making into a reality, such as that painting skit. Which, trust me, it's going to be hilarious. But yeah, everything's going to get way funnier with these new ideas. It's not just the same boring old gaming content. No, more appeasing to a broader range of people.
Upgrades, people, upgrades!
So, I know I haven't actually shown any of you guys, but I have a new PC. Originally, I was dealing with the HP Omen, which, granted, for its time was a pretty decent PC, and even now it holds up pretty decently, but I can't use it for the amount of stuff that I gotta do for the channel and for the games that I'm gonna be playing. So what I wound up doing is I blew a pretty fair amount of money on a custom built gaming PC, which, at your request, I will show it off. But just a couple of the quick specs for the PC. I have an Intel Core i7-9700, so this is more for the computer nerds. Which, hey, nothing wrong with being a computer nerd and nothing wrong with not being a computer nerd. But there's a way for you to skip it. Timestamp right here. But anyways, so I've got an Intel Core i7-9700, and then I've got 64 gigabytes of RAM, and I have 4 terabytes of disk space. Because I have 4 1 terabyte SSDs. One of them isn't plugged, but I just gotta get the cord for it. And then I've got a really good graphics card, one that's not going to really need an upgrade for a while, the GeForce RTX 2080 Super. Really good graphics card, and they're actually fairly cheap due to the 3080 coming out. But still, really good PC upgrades. I mean, I'll show you guys all the PC here soon. It's amazing. It's a very beautiful PC. And then aside from that, I did wind up getting new monitors that are absolutely amazing. I love these monitors. They have such high quality. My games do not lag. My games do not have horrible crash quality. And I got a new keyboard. Oh no, it's not rising up far enough. But it's rainbow. RGB. It's a red dragon. It's really cool. I like it. This is more or less me showing off all the cool parts and upgrades. Which, speaking of parts and upgrades, we will be upgrading more of the equipment. We're going to most likely be putting a curtain back here so that you don't have this disgusting wall. Trust me, for those of you out there who are watching this and hate this wall, I do too. I really want to just tear it down and redo it entirely. And then we're going to get some soundproofing foam padding all around the walls. And eventually I'm going to get a better microphone. But for now, I mean, this one's holding up pretty well. The Blue Yeti Blackout that I got back in 2015, it's still holding up pretty well, even to this day. But there's going to be a lot more upgrades. The lighting's going to get better. Hopefully a little bit more warm light, because I know in this video I look pale. And I am not that pale. But things are going to start looking better in the means of recordings. Things are going to sound better. Things are going to look better. And it's just overall going to be a great time. And plenty of upgrades. On a side note, I do not mean to show off all of this stuff because I think I'm better than anyone. No. I do this so that you guys know what I'm working with. I actually do feel really bad because it feels like I'm bragging. It feels like I'm sitting there saying, oh, look at this, I've got a really awesome gaming PC that you could never afford in your life. I've got this cool RGB keyboard, I've got all this cool equipment. No, I feel really bad talking about this kind of stuff, but at the same time, it is something you guys should know so that you know what I'm working with here. That you know that I can produce extremely high quality videos for you guys. Because the last thing you guys need to be doing is watching my videos that look like they belong back in 1996. Opinions on other businesses. So, not to name any business in particular, because this kind of just goes on a wide range of different businesses on how they treat their consumers and their employees. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is also the negative points that I'm going to be bringing up about how a lot of businesses like to treat employees and customers are kind of my guidelines of what not to do, with my team essentially representing employees and you representing the consumers. So I've seen a lot of businesses that just do not respect their employees at all. They don't give them paid leave. They don't give them enough hours. They're not understanding. And they refuse to cooperate with their employees to try and meet the needs of the employee. Because let's be honest, if an employee really wanted to, they could just up and quit, leaving that business with one less worker. But at the same time, to those businesses, workers are replaceable. And it's a sad thing to see. And I've just hated seeing it. Every single job that I've worked, I've always felt like I am one of the most replaceable people there. And I feel like a lot of my coworkers were replaceable in the eyes of the business as well. But then there's the way some businesses treat consumers. Granted, yes, there are businesses out there that will almost literally treat consumers like gods and goddesses. Which, to a point, I can understand that, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit overkill. You don't need to treat a consumer like a god or a goddess. Like, yeah, sure, have respect for the consumer, because they are the ones essentially paying your bills. Those consumers are what keep the business up and running. So definitely have respect for them. Definitely try to help out as much as you can. But at the same time, some businesses are just complete pushovers. As soon as a customer gets up into a manager's face and starts screaming, the entire business just keels over and does not want anything to do with anything else, so they'll just give the screaming consumer whatever they want. And in my own personal opinion, that's not right. To a point, the customer is to be respected because they are who gives you the money. But if a customer is blatantly disrespecting the business itself, or the consumer is disrespecting the business, that business should have every single right to essentially flip it back on the consumer. The golden rule, if any of you watched VeggieTales, treat others how you would like to be treated. It's something I live by, and it's something that I think a lot of businesses really need to take into account. Whether it be because they just treat their consumers like absolute garbage, or they let consumers walk all over them. And I do want to mention, this isn't necessarily a political opinion. I will never voice a political opinion on the channel. But this is still just... This is more or less to let you guys know how not only my team is being treated, which is with massive loads of respect and dignity, and how you will be treated as, well, consumers. Which will be with a lot of respect, and, we'll take in your ideas, but just don't be rude about it. I'm more than open to constructive criticism. Every single video that I put out, I beg for comments to tell me, oh, I like that you did this, but this could have been a little bit better. Okay, that's awesome. But I just don't want a massive amount of, screaming comments. No. That's just not right. A business should not allow consumers to trample over them like that. So, just like how I believe businesses should run, my YouTube channel, when it comes down to the way I treat the consumers or the viewers and the employees or my team, is essentially based on the golden rule. Treat others how you would like to be treated. That's just the basics of it. Questions to and from the fans. So, kind of going off of my last point, if you guys do have questions, comments, or concerns with any of my content, please bring it up respectfully. Or if it's a question, just ask away. And I'd be more than happy to answer it. Like, if you guys have a question in the comments, I will typically try to reply. And there's even possibility for a Q&A session in the future, where I will just post something on one of my socials, Facebook or YouTube, and you guys can all ask questions, and I might even give you guys a shout out. I don't know. Granted, 518 sub shout out's not going to do much. But still, any questions, comments, or concerns will be addressed, and we will definitely get back to you. Whether it be me or any member of the TMT team, we will get to you. Granted, it might take a little bit of time because we all are busy, but we'll always get it to you. You guys are the most important thing to us over here on the TMT team. You guys are what's important to us. So we want to answer any questions, and we want to know what you guys think. And speaking of which, if you guys have anything that you want to say, just say it. If it's criticism, be constructive about it. Offer criticism and maybe a way to fix it. Or a compliment sandwich. It's not that hard. I mean, in all reality, it's really easy. So overall, I would like to know, what do you guys think of the channel so far? And I'm not talking about all the older stuff from before I got my chief editor. Basically anything from the Minecraft Fiash video and later. Please, let me know what you think about it. I really do want to know. I want to know what I'm doing good, or what we're doing good. And I want to know what we're messing up on. I mean, I know with me it's procrastination, but you don't have to mention. But anyways, we would like to know what your thoughts and your opinion. And if we get enough questions or enough comments, there is an entire possibility for a Q&A. I would not mind doing one. Answering questions directly is definitely a major part of what I will do for you. Outro. I do want to reiterate again, thank you guys so much for your support and for your patience. Well, it has been a while since I've uploaded. And I do most definitely apologize for the longer video. I know this is longer than many people would really care to watch. So, I do deeply apologize for it. And last of all, thank all of you for being who you are. Because all the diversity between every single one of you just makes every interaction unique within itself. But with all of that being said, please make sure to go support the rest of the TMT team. Links are all down in the description. And make sure to leave me some questions or comments. Just whatever you think is appropriate. Thank you very much, guys. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.